We are back with TSPN, and with us is our hostess with the mostest and chef of the day, Monique Graziadei.
Why,
Hi,
thank
Monique.
you.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Now, you
Happy
have
to be
something
here.
cooking up already.
I do. You know, we wanted to just put together something simple that's easy to make in the morning. So what we're making is a salmon omelet with brie cheese, a little bit of chopped chives, but we're going to make it in a different fashion. It's going to be a French omelet. French omelets are very thin, not real brown. You want to do, you know, kind of lower heat and just make them almost like a crepe.
What do they call that thin type stuff? Is it flan or is it something else?
Flan is a Mexican custard. So that's
I don't know. I don't have my
but
terminology.
more of a crepe, kind of more of a crepe, I think, is what we're working with
There's lots
here.
of French terms out there, right?
There are.
But this
so
is more of
if you want to get a view here, this is what we're working with, and that's how thin it is.
Would you call this an omelet or a pastry type?
It's an omelet.
Omelet.
It's an
a very thin omelet.
French
Okay.
omelet.
Now you can see the way you're cooking it is very slow heat.
Very low, slow heat. And then just a small amount of eggs. I probably used an egg and a half. This is enough for a serving for one. Maybe there's two
And
eggs
this is
scrambled.
very thin on the cooking surface.
Very, very thin. What we're going to do is we'll spice it up.
So you can you tear that very easily if you're not careful?
Yes, you can. So when we take it out of the pan, we're hoping that we don't tear it.
Okay, you use some dill wheat on there
A little
first.
dill, a little French sea salt, and just it's really fine. So just sprinkle it around a little bit.
Okay, that is extra fine French gray sea salt. Why sea salt?
Well, the flavor's there, and when it's ground up so finely, it's an intense flavor.
Okay,
And also a little herbes de Provence, which is French seasoning, has lavender, little oregano, etc. And then we'll save Mrs. Dash for just a moment, but I will put in a
That's
little
my
bit.
favorite part.
I know, I love
blue
brie cheese. And right now, the omelet is done. I went ahead and turned it off. I'm going to set the brie cheese in. I'm kind of slicing it thin as you can, because it is such a pliable cheese. We'll set that in there. Perfect. We'll put a little salmon in.
The salmon, and you've already broken the salmon up
I
into
did.
fairly large pieces.
Yes, I went ahead and purchased smoked salmon, which is also considered lox, like you'd use with lox and bagels.
Never had salmon with blue cheese before. That sounds interesting.
Oh, it's really good. Yeah, so the brie and salmon go perfect together. And that's probably a good amount. Can you see that okay, Tom? You can get closer on there. Very simple, very easy. But now here comes the hard part sometimes.
Without breaking
is getting it out without ruining it. And really what we're just looking for is a single piece. Once we start rolling it, it'll be a little easier to manipulate. So we'll just go like that.
You do that like you've done this before.
I've done it once before. Maybe twice. Now, if you hold this, it's not hot, so just hold on right there. I just want to flip it over without sending it flying over the edge. There we go.
A two-handed approach.
Am I feeling lucky today, people? I think I am. And onto the plate it goes.
All right.
Okay, so two-hander here.
That looks great.
That is easy. Now what we want to do is just a little simple garnish. Everything has to look pretty. Taste good and look pretty.
So you are slicing up.
I'm just chopping some chives here. And just a little bit over the top, kind of like that.
That was
a
a very good effort for a second time you've done that.
Thank you.
It looks very professional.
Thank you. And then we have to have a garnish on the plate. Monique and garnishes, you know, it's like
You got like some
two peas
orange
in a
tomato
pod.
and red tomato.
I do. So I think I'll do something like this, just to get some color in there. Maybe we'll use a little bit of this tomato here too.
And if we were in England, they'd put some sausages on there, but I'm glad we're not.
We were in Australia, they'd have fried green tomatoes on there.
That's right.
And this is what the Mrs. Dash comes in handy for, is if you're going to use tomatoes to add color, this is just a nice little seasoning to make the flavor of them pop. All right, there we have it.
Now, you've had this before in restaurants, and you've cooked it once before. Is this a particular dish that you really enjoy?
You know, it's just a favorite of mine. I do cook it at home on Saturday mornings, and it's something that I have the ingredients at home most of the time, because I love salmon, I love lox, you know, I just like it on bread or with salad. And so it's something I usually have everything, and you can shake it up. You can put sausage in there. You can put roasted red peppers in there. You don't have to use the same ingredients. It's just the technique on making it into a French omelet, which is really, really light, and it's just has a different texture to it. So we'll have to try that and
Now,
enjoy
we have
that.
enough material. Can you cook another one up?
I think, sure, after the show, I'll be cooking up a lot of them.
The other favorites you have for breakfast, could you change this combination of salmon and the blue cheese?
Absolutely. It's brie cheese on there. If I was going to change it up, I'd probably do, if I want to do a vegetarian, roasted red pepper and maybe a little feta. That sounds really good. I like blue cheese. Not everybody is partial to it in the morning, but if you go easy and maybe use a Roquefort instead of a strong blue, you could do a blue cheese. And then I would probably put a little red onion on there and spinach. Ooh, that'd be great. Really, really good. But I like to cook everything. So omelets, I love French toast, unique things like creme brulee French toast is one of my favorite, and I make that. And I love things with green chilies.
Creme brulee French toast.
Creme brulee French toast, it is amazing. It's really, really, really good. Yeah. I'll have to make it for you.
Yeah.
Yes,
let's
and
do
then you
that the
can
next
try
time.
it. That sounds
And as
good.
always, you want to try and use as fresh ingredients as possible.
Always fresh stuff. Absolutely.
Okay, Monique, thank you for being here.
My
You are the
pleasure.
hostess with the mostest, and excellent job on the omelet.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right.
We'll give it a
And-
try later.
With that, we're going to go to a break, and we'll be right back, and hopefully we'll be hungry.
Yes.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.